Good day, afternoon, morning. It's me, the host who keeps fussing with the microphone. Jen Schiffer. That's me. And welcome to Glitchcom Live, episode number 15. This is our typically weekly live stream on Fridays where I share the my favorites from what the community has shared from the past week. And then we do a little light coding. We'll get into that. First off, this is a live stream. So if you're in the chat, hello, welcome. Shouts out to my teammate Jen Turner, one of the mods, who also just told me sound's looking good. So that's great. And if you're watching the video later on, shouts out to you too. Would love to know what your thoughts are. Sound off in the comments, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Last week's stream, I started off and I was just having a bad long week. And then by the end of the stream, I was feeling pretty good about stuff. Today, starting on a good note. The weather in the New York City area has been absolutely gorgeous. We're talking 60 Fahrenheit, 60 degrees, sunny. Even right now, the sun is peeking through after there was a dark cloud overhead. The internet seems to be a bit wonky today. A lot of sites were kind of going down, so I was kind of getting nervous, but YouTube Studio is showing an excellent connection. So sun's out, YouTube's out. I will say one unfortunate thing, which I know is going to break all of your hearts. It's that my 32-ounce glass is in the dishwasher, so I have to drink out of two 12-ounce, 16-ounce glasses. So I've got my regular water and my orange-flavored water. So hopefully you're staying hydrated with me this stream. I mention this every week because it's important. But yeah, I have to drink out of normal human glasses today. So cheers to that. Okay, this has been an exciting week. So let's just get into it. So if you want to follow along on all of this stuff here, I post a RunAShow of this episode. And Jen will be a pal and share a link to the live stream. Jen's also telling me in the work Slack that it's still 32 ounces. If I needed 4 glasses, I gotta have 32 ounces of fluids near me. But yeah, you can check out RunAShow, so all the links I'm going to share today you're going to see as well. First and foremost, this week is the 7th birthday of Glitch, which is really exciting. Let me hide my bookmarks toolbar so that it's not distracting, all the folders and stuff. It's kind of reflective of how much is going on our team. In a good way. And so we turned 7 this week, and I wrote on the Glitch blog my reflection on the last 7 years of having worked on Glitch and what the future of it is. So if you go to blog.glitch.com, you can read that. Yeah, I think it'll be cool to check out. Let's see. We have some other exciting things happening around the blog. We've been working towards migrating it to 11T. And so I am super excited to announce to y'all that next week's live stream, my pal Zach Leatherman, who is the creator and maintainer of 11T, is going to be joining us. We're still not sure. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to talk about besides 11T. There's a million things. The massive amounts of work that he's done on web performance. I think gosh, it must have been maybe 10 years ago when he helped me optimize speed for the fonts I was using on make8bitart.com. And he had made a PR to make it super speedy. He's a huge proponent of web performance, and of course, naturally that led to him creating 11T, which is probably one of the most performant static site generators I've ever used. And that's a big reason why we adopted 11T as part of our core starter set on Glitch. In fact, you can go to uh, glitch.com and right front and center, you can get started by making a blog with 11T. My blog, Live Left blog, is on 11T, and pretty soon, could even be as I'm speaking right now, the Glitch blog is going to be on 11T. And so we're going to talk about that journey and like why we got there and the benefits that we've already seen from doing that before we even swap the domains. So, um, yeah, join us on Friday. We're going to be posting out a link to all of that. And yeah, so let's see. Let's get into the apps that yous were sharing throughout the past week. This first one is a B2B postcard. This is birding data that was used to generate postcards using P5.js by Felicia Steyer. So thank you for sharing it. This is an assignment as part of the online course Binoculars to Binomials that's being taught by longtime friend of Glitch, Jer Thorpe. Jer has brought us all sorts of bangers on Glitch, especially to birds like burbs.glitch.me. This app lets you select a location on the map and it will tell you all the birds that are in that area. And then you can like hear the bird sounds. So I don't know. I think this is like a game you have to you have to play the sound and guess what the bird is. And I don't know if the sound is coming through, but I don't know what any birds sound like. I clicked American Crow before I even listened to it. I'm gonna guess that this is a house sparrow. Yeah. Anyway, Jer makes some really awesome related bird stuff. Thank you, Jer. And you can go to his profile and see all of them. Literally bird stuff playlists, but there's far more that he's got going. He was also the first innovator in residence at the Library of Congress, and so there are a lot of really cool data-driven apps from the Library of Congress on his profile. Anyway, you can learn about Binoculars to Binomials. It's the only class or program by that name, so you can look it up on Google and find it and learn about all the stuff that he's going over in the class, as well as links to a bunch of glitch apps he's already made. But I've been seeing a lot of the work from his students coming through because they're using Glitch, and it's all really, really cool stuff. And so this is like a generative postcard based on like birding data. So it kind of moves not significantly different from the previous iteration, but it moves a little bit. Yeah, so thank you, Felicia, for sharing. Thank you, Jer, for enabling your students to do cool stuff with bird data and using Glitch. Oh yeah, our app of the week, wanted to share that, is something I featured on last week's episode, which is Wonky.js by Shala. Wonky.js gives you a script that will make everything on your page lopsided. Thank you, Jordan Chan, for sharing it. Here, I demoed this last week, but I'll show you again in case you're new. It generates code to just move things like on the page. So this is like subtle wonky, medium wonky, a lot wonky. There's a button to reset the page, and then break everything. So love that. And all the elements still work. I'm definitely going to use this to make my website, which you'll see later, even more a pain in the ass to navigate. Not messing up the accessibility, but there's some fun stuff that can be done. But yeah, that was cool. And that's why it's our app of the week. And if you share your apps across social media, or you post in the Glitch forum, or even comment on the video right now down below, your app could be here as well and featured on this stream. Another app that I came across came from a Tumblr user, Weasel McDiesel, which is a great name. They had an assignment. They said it was an assignment to make a piece of art using crowdsourcing. And so they went to their community on Tumblr and asked folks to send text about your pets, anything about them, what you like about them, blah, blah, blah. And so this got quite a few reblogs and notes, a few hundred. And this is like their app on Glitch. They crowdsourced um lots of like information, like it's just stories about people's pets, and so it's just like really super wholesome. She's a gray tabby cat with the greenest of eyes. Um his name is Apollo. Like I don't know, it's really cool and cute, and there's so much here. It's just really cool to see their community come through and help them out with this project. If you want to read them in a bit more readable format, there's a random submission button that will send you uh, a single what's the word, snippet that they call it. So I love all of these pets like they are my own. Aw, Desi. Full name Desert Lily. Sweet name. My baby girl is a menace. Look at this person's like, I love to talk about my pets. Huge wall of text. Like, it's I don't know. I just love Weasel's prompt and that the way that they put it together. So thank you, Weasel, for that work. Also, I love coming across glitch apps on Tumblr. Because that's actually I saw their post before I saw the glitch app. So it's always nice, like, uh, see someone like I'm making a thing, and that thing end up coming up on Glitch as I'm like looking up what people are sharing on Glitch, and that's like a rare and special moment. I love that. Stefan Bo, longtime friend of Glitch, wrote a blog post at stefanboacek.com about 15 years of running a personal website. And so they just talked about their experience. Their they He had mentioned like, oh, you can use tools like NeoCities. We love NeoCities and Glitch to host your website for free. And then a few days later, wrote about a simple page builder app that he's working on that will enable you to create your own personal site. And then, of course, you could host it for free on Glitch or NeoCities. So that's really cool. This actually reminds me. Um, so we have like a Fastly developers blog on Dev2, and Sue Smith has gosh, what does that try? Sue Smith wrote a post called "Start a Personal Website," and it goes through how to remix it, get your own domain, point a domain on your website. Um, and there's a tutorial that she wrote on how to point a domain at your site with Fastly. Um, if you are in the Glitch Community Testers group, and if you're not, you can go to the forum and join that. We had a tutorial out for how to set up secure custom domains on Glitch because we don't have the native feature working anymore. And with some of your feedback and the Fastly TLS team making changes, the experience is a lot easier than we launched that testing program. And so actually, I was going to the forum today to update all those posts for how to do this to just say, do what Sue says, which is really like ultimately good advice for like everything, not just setting up custom domains on Glitch. So thank you, Sue, for sharing the knowledge. And if you have any feedback or you run into any issues, you can post in our forum. But yeah, I like that Stefan is sharing ways to build your own personal site. Sue is advocating it for it as well. And we love that people are doing that because everyone should be building the web, and that means we all deserve a little piece of it with our own names on it and stuff. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's close some tabs. Keith from the chat says, yes, trust Sue Smith. In this house, we trust Sue Smith. Here's an app I made. I had to share it because I'm very proud of it. I learned 3JS over the past few months. I did an online course called 3JS Journey, which is like 90 hours of online coursework to learn 3JS for building 3D in the browser and Blender for building models. And I make candles for fun, and I wanted to get into doing more sculptural stuff. But I have ADHD and I get blocked really easily on stuff. So it's like, let me just like before I pull my candle stuff out, model it in 3JS. So here it is at orange3dcandle.glitch.me. And when you click it, you see the real life candle form of the orange. I don't know how to do any like complicated shaders So I just replace on click of the orange, which you can see the wick there. I love that. Just a cube of the oranges rotating on it. In fact, I can share with you because I'm proud of it. My orange candle. Influencer mode. It smells like oranges. My coworker Justin, who is an engineer, not on the glitch team, but on some engineering team at Fastly, there's so many of them. He is one of my office buddies, and he loves oranges. So I made 3 of those oranges, and I gave him one because he is a big fan of oranges, and so am I, and they're fun to model. And yeah, I wanted to share that. Okay, let's see. Now, um, let's talk about jams. Our Glitch Community Code Jam prompt this month is screensavers. And I showed off a bunch of your submissions so far last week, and we got a few more I want to get into. And then we're going to jump into what I have been working on. So let's get started. Miles WK, a regular in the Glitch forum, made this screensaver that just takes their name and moves the characters around in cool, wild ways. Actually, I want to know how this is done, so let's view the source. There's another one while that's loading. Amal Milton made this one that's just a rainbow gradient background and an image moving around. This is gradient rainbow with dots. The image is moving so fast I can't catch what it's doing, but that gradient background changing is really nice. So thank you for making that. Okay, this screensaver is all the animations, and I mean all done entirely in CSS. That's cool. I was wondering if this was a CSS animation. So they have a span for each name, and then they use keyframes to change the color of the background. So you see the background is changing between white, gray, blue, and white. And then they have keyframes for each of the span classes. So each one, span classes all spell out glitch, except for the H because Miles isn't as many letters. And here they're just like scaling, rotating, and translating each one of those letters and changing the color. So that's pretty cool. So you should be able to just like, actually, I'm going to right now. I'm gonna remix this. And juicy marked character.glitch.me is that. And I'm just gonna put Jen. There we are. Now the screen saver. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Is all about me. I love this. Let me go back to Miles's page because I want to make sure to thank them for sharing that. Love that. Thank you, Miles. Derek, longtime user of Glitch, made the bouncing DVD screensaver, but with the Glitch logo. I like that the sparkles come out as it hits the edges, so that is cool. And yeah, we can just watch this for the next half hour. What do you think? Jen in the chat said "end me" in all caps. I'm not sure what you're responding to, so please clarify if I'm not giving you credit for a thing. Oh, the fish are getting bigger? Whoa, wait a second. I didn't notice that before. Let's see what happens if it gets too big. Oh, Jen was saying that the screensaver of me putting Jen is also about her. It's a Jen thing, yeah. Oh, that was cool. Okay, so the fish gets tiny and it gets bigger and faster over time, and the background color changes. This is really cool. You know, I can probably remix this or send Derek like an SVG of the glitch fish so that uh the fish don't get as pixelated unless it's what he wanted. That's so cool. I love that. Thank you, Derek. If I'm correct, Derek and I might have collaborated on a glitch app back in the beginning of glitch days. Um oh yeah, Derek made the letterbox app that we featured. Um oh, Derek also did the Taylor Swift Midnights generator. Okay, but yeah, they got 10 apps. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. I feel like we had hmm I think we had done an app where we were replacing parts of our face with emoji. I think that that's the same Derek. Anyway, Derek's been on Glitch forever and love that. Okay, another cool thing. So support.glitch.com is our community forum. This is where like we put all of our announcements first and foremost before email and all that kind of stuff. So this is a place you want to be if you want to know the latest about Glitch before anyone else does. And it's also where everyone's helping out each other and sharing the cool stuff that they're making. In the posts about screensavers, people are sharing what they've worked on. And Naoto found inspiration in the After Dark screensavers, made with CSS. After Dark, uh, let me see, how would I explain After Dark? It was After Dark Wikipedia. This is how I explain stuff. Not an Australian TV series, but it was like a CD of screensavers, essentially. Computer screensaver software for the Apple Macintosh and Windows from 1989. If you might be more familiar than anything with the flying toasters. That was kind of like the most iconic and beloved. Uh, and here it is. And this is all CSS. So I think each of these. So if this is CSS, then that means they have images and they're probably using keyframes to show specific parts of the image. So they're like sprites. Um, and this isn't on Glitch, so I'm gonna view the page source, the traditional route. So yeah, there's a toaster sprite, um, GIF, and then they have animation. So it could be a GIF. You can animate an image with CSS by using the sprite. Um, but yeah, here's all the toasters, and then they just use keyframe animations to move them throughout. Look at all those browser prefixes. Gosh, I don't miss having to do that for like border radius and all of that stuff. So yeah, these are like good starters. They're on GitHub, so you can fork them. The fish one is my favorite. Um, I just like a lot. We have in the inspiration playlist on the jams page an aquarium, uh, and this is like another aquarium, but not emoji. What is another one? Rainstorm. Oh, just like it's simple. It's just moving the screen, moving the pixels to keep it from burning. 1989, that was a problem. You need a screensaver, else it will literally burn your screen. Anyway, thank you to Naoto for liking that screensaver. I can't heart. I think that. Oh yeah, I already loved this. That's me surfing a pixel Dorito. I'm not logged into the support forum on my home computer, which is what I'm on right now. So that's why I'm not logged in. But I'm on the forum all of the time, and folks that are there know it. So if you want to share anything or if you have any questions, support.glitch.com is the place to go and share that. Okay. Jen O'Clock. Jen Schiffer O'Clock. It's always Jen Turner O'Clock. Both Jen's O'Clock. Last week, I started a screensaver app, which has become this Hello Screensaver starter. It doesn't do anything but turn off and on a status for whether a screensaver should be shared. So let me briefly go over what the code does, and then I'm going to remix it and have the screensaver do a thing. And then, actually, no, I think I'll just update this to have like an initial screensaver. And then I would ideally, if I can't do it this week, I'll do it the week after next because next week's all about Zach. I want to update my glitch in bio to have a screensaver. Right now, I have it where you can draw on the back of it. Outside of business hours, the site is closed. And now I'm going to add a screensaver. And this is kind of like going back to like what Stefan and Sue were saying about owning your own personal site. It's a great way to like experiment with weird and wacky stuff in production, and it's your own space and you have full control over it. That's what I do with my glitch in bio. And so you can literally remix and get your own from this page. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's get started. Okay. So I am in Hello Screensaver. I'm going to post a link in the chat. Hello Screensaver. So you can join. I'm sorry if I got that URL wrong. I am working off of 2 computers and 3 screens and 2 glasses of water, 16 ounces. Okay. So this is a screensaver starter. It tracks how much time has gone by since a mouse has moved or a key or mouse clicked, and when the timer gets to 5 seconds, the screensaver status is turned on, and when there's a mouse move or key press, screensaver is turned off and the timer is reset. So right now you see screensaver says on. If I mouse over it, screensaver says off. And then if I wait a few seconds, there's no movement, it says on. I'm gonna press a key and it's gonna be off. Okay, I pressed the key again. Just want to make sure that that worked because, you know, last week I'm struggling with my keyboard. Okay, screensaver's on. Now I'm just gonna like click and then screensaver's off. How I did that is all I have in HTML is like a placeholder for the I called it timer, but it's just saying screensaver on and off. So actually say screensaver status and replace that. Just renaming these variables so that they make sense. Originally I was going to show a timer and then I didn't. Okay, so to initiate the screensaver state, I can spell screensaver, I've done it a bunch of times. I grab that element, I set my timer to 0, and then every 5 seconds, or every millisecond. Again, if you were on the stream last week, I did not know how to convert milliseconds to seconds. It's just, you know, like some people cannot, like they're very, very smart, but they cannot read a non-digital clock. I cannot convert things without like focusing entirely on that, like pen and paper. I just always forget. I can calculate it in my mind usually, but when I'm on the stream, I'm paying attention to like the way I'm talking, what's on my screen, and so I can't visualize in my head moving the decimal point a few places. And so anyway, I have an interval that's checking constantly to see if the timer has reset or not. if the timer is over 5, then it knows to turn the screensaver on. Now, we have a toggle screensaver that, given the state of it, sets whether the text here says on or off. And we're just toggling, we're triggering screen changes by click, mouse move, or key down. I am not happy with how I just explained that to all of you. Fortunately, it's only 34 lines of code. And essentially, we're just listening for a click, mouse move, or key down. And if that does happen, then we call screen change, which toggles the screensaver, setting it to false, and then resetting the timer. And at the same time, we're checking if the timer is over a certain point, because that will set as true. In fact, toggle screensaver is probably not the right function name, and that's why I'm confused, because toggling implies a light switch and you're just flipping whatever the state is. So really we're setting the screensaver status, and we're giving it what it is. So I'm just gonna rename that. That's why I got confused. That's why the hardest problem in computer science is naming things. Because when you revisit it, it gets difficult. Okay. Here we go. As far as styling, there's like very little. This is carried over from our starter. So that's it. So now I want to have a screensaver actually show on the page. And so right now I'm just setting the text here, but I want this to be a starter. And so there's a number of things that we can do. I was thinking like, oh, I can have I can have it show, I can put like a canvas over the page. Man, this is a really great time for me to get the hiccups. See, this is what happens when I don't drink from a 32-ounce glass and I have to drink from a normal glass. Okay. You're watching the mind of a sicko spiraling. Okay. So I want to do something that's cooler than just saying screensaver on. So this is really just like a placeholder. Like, here's where the screensaver stuff happens. Really, let's like, whenever I start to get blocked, that's when I know I have to enter the comments and think about stuff we can do. So one of the things I was thinking was like, okay, when screensaver's on, add snow to the page. This is like something that whenever you started like a blog in the early 2000s or like you had a website, you always added some JavaScript that you copied off of someone else's webpage through viewing the source of it that adds snowfall to your page. That was like a novel, like common, cool, fun thing that nobody does anymore because everyone has to be professional. And apparently snow is not professional. Anyway, I, for one, do not deny climate change, and so I feel like adding snow is something we all should be regularly doing on our web pages. And if I was actually like a sicko, it would just be something we added to every glitch app. But we don't add third-party scripts to your glitch apps, by the way. Someone asked me if we have analytics of their apps, and we don't add that stuff. You can add it, though. So that's one option. The other thing is cover the page in a full page canvas and add generative art. Other is to add, this is kind of similar to the add snow to the page, like add generative like div elements that fall like snow to the page. So just like literally adding HTML to the page, or covering the page in a full page canvas and add generator, or cover the page in an iframe of the screensaver. And so I was thinking, like, if I added generative div elements to a page, I would have to remove all of those when the screensaver turns off. If I cover a page in a full page canvas and add generative art to that, I only have one canvas element that I have to remove. And if I cover the page in an iframe of a screensaver, I can basically have it randomly use different screensavers that the glitch community created, right? Like we have this like inspiration playlist here. That's on the glitch.com/jams page. And I can have, for example, which is the one? Tiago's aquarium with fishies is really cool. And it's like, what if I set my full page to be an iframe of these fishies, and then when you move or click, it goes away. The only issue I see there is, if you have an iframe over your page, do these event listeners still work? Or do I have to put an element, like a hidden, not hidden, but just like an empty page-wide div box over that iframe so that these event listeners still work, because I want it to turn off. So if you're in the chat, let me know what you think. If you have any other ideas, or if you're watching this later on, put it in the comments. But I kind of want to explore that first because I really like the idea of random screensavers from the glitch community being shown on my site. So let's see. Okay. Let me copy this. We're gonna start with Tiago's fish aquarium. Okay. Let's see. John Williams in chat says browsers used to block transparent overlay effects, but you might be okay if it's all the same domain. Let's see. I could also, let me view the source of Tiago's page. Talking about an overlay on an iframe, John said, yeah, that's what I'm like not sure. And I'm like, what is the quickest way to test that? I mean, the quickest way would just be to add the iframe to it. So gosh, I haven't worked with an iframe in a long time. MDN. Okay. Let's see. Here's a good, I'm just gonna snippet this from MDN. This is the web docs, iframe. So I don't have to start from scratch, something like that. So let's say, and can you programmatically, the problem with using an iframe also is all the like security related stuff. Even though I'm using this for like creative purposes, all these things with iframes can be, have been, and would be used for nefarious purposes. And so browsers have added precautions to prevent that from happening, which makes doing the fun stuff hard to do. And so is the state of the web and the fact that we are surrounded by scammers. And I am constrained as an artist because of that. Anyway, let's see if we can just show an iframe. So let's put in a placeholder. We just give it an ID screensaver. we'll initiate that. Ultimately, we'll be removing screensaver status from the page because that won't be necessary. But it's good to have that to debug. And then here we can just say screensaver inner HTML equals whatever, and then we would say screensaver dot inner HTML equals blah blah blank, and then here we would put what the screensaver content should be. So I'm actually going to pop that screensaver HTML equals. Whoa, did not. Why didn't it copy that? Copy. Or, oh my gosh. I think that, is that not copying the full thing? Okay, there's something going on with, I assume that because I clicked in this try it editor that it was copying everything, but it was not. There we go. And then we're gonna set the source to be okay. And then set the iteration of the screensaver when we're turning on to screensaver.rhtml. Prettier. And then screensaver is off. And then when it goes on, it shows an iframe that's flashing like wildly. Does that happen in just, is that because it's our preview is an iframe within an iframe? Let's see what happens when the screensaver is on its own page. Okay, so that's, oh, is the aquarium refreshing? This is the code for Tiago's aquarium with fishies. Update. Interesting. Why would it be refreshing like that? Okay, so maybe the iframe route is not the way to go. But I do want to see what happens if I make it the full width of the page. And so, okay, screensaver off. I'm gonna put my mouse over where the screensaver would be showing and see. Okay, see how my cursor's over the screensaver? Okay. Oh, so the event handler still worked. Because I guess like the iframe is in the window. I'm clicking though, and that's not working. So the iframe, the mouse move event handler still works, but key down and click don't work. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna replace that with just some text that says wow. And let's see what we can do instead. So I guess instead now we can set the full page canvas, and this is gonna, I'm gonna go to slash make a hexel art. I usually just type in make for my apps, and whatever comes up first I use, because I've made make 8-bit art, make hexel art is a hexagonal grid version, and in both of them I create a full page canvas, and that's what I want to do here. And so I'm often like copying and pasting random stuff. So let's copy here. I'm gonna change the screensaver to be a canvas. Which I'm also going to set the width equal 0 and the height equals 0. I don't know if that works, but I want it to not be there. This is an iframe. Let me open this in a new window because DevTools in the editor is too complicated to look at the app view. Let's see, here we have a canvas. Okay. Width, height, 0. Cool. And then I want to actually, I'll just call this screensaver canvas is that element. Screensaver context, which you always have to grab. That's what we're gonna be drawing onto. And then we're gonna set the width and height of that canvas to be full page when the screensaver is on. And then when the screensaver is off, we can change the width, but it's probably better to do CSS. So let's say canvas display none. I'm actually gonna identify that as the screensaver because I'm gonna pop this into my own website and I have a canvas, so I don't want them all to disappear. So canvas screensaver. I'm just gonna add canvas here so it's known what this is. And then I'm gonna toggle hiding it. So I can actually set the height at the beginning to initialize it. Boom, boom, boom. And down here, we'll set the display screensaver canvas dot style dot display equals block. And then here, we'll set the display to be none. And just to test out, let's check the background color equals lavender. Might have put a period at the end of that. My gosh, Jennifer. Okay. Let's get rid of this old stuff, that experiment. And let's not delete my code that I need. My Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. There we go. I could have just hit the prettier button. Okay, so now let's refresh this. And it turns on. Okay, cool. We have a full screensaver, and then it turns off, it goes away. Now, in the CSS, we want the position to be absolute and to cover the whole page. Top 0, left 0. Let's refresh and turn on. Full page. Okay, let's see if it's showing. Okay, we have the canvas, that's the full page. 1788 by 728. And then off. So this is great. This is like much more practical, and we can get rid of the screensaver status because we know what the status is because the canvas has a background color. Cool. And then like you can put wow, any content here. Whoa. And so you have like your normal page, blah blah blah. And then the screensaver comes on. And then the screensaver comes on. Why didn't screensaver come on? Okay, let's try this now. Screensaver. Is there an error? Screensaver status is null. Oh, because I deleted an element that my code was looking for. It caused an error. Let's delete that. We don't need this. We love deleting code in this home. Okay, now let's go. Screensaver, go on. Cool. Okay. Now what do we want the screensaver to do? Now essentially we can have it do anything. We would want to call a function that we can have down here. Const activate screensaver. Do all the canvas drawing. And then when you set it to the screensaver to block, we trigger activate screensaver. The first thing we would want to do is one, clear the canvas, because when the canvas is drawn on and then you hide the canvas, and then when you bring the canvas back, it's going to have all the drawings from before the screensaver is on. So we want to do like a clear rectangle. Clear rect is the function to empty the canvas. And then we want to start drawing on it. Here's another app, which by the way, while I'm here, if you ever want to draw with hexagons, make Hexel art is the app. I like this app because drawing a hexagonal grid is very difficult, and I did the math, so you don't have to. But something I was working on like a couple of days ago was on QR codes. QR code, wow. The other night I just was like, how do QR codes work? And can I make an editor where you can like draw a QR code? And so QR code wow I made, and like right now you can like set it to like a URL or really like any content, and then like it will generate the QR code because there's a library I found that does it. But I learned how to parse by hand what a QR code means. Like these are like the three corner elements that kind of help it know that it's a QR code, and then there's these pixels here that determine the type of pattern masking that goes over it. And then the first few here are like the size of the QR code, and also how big the data, how long like the data is, of course, determines how big in pixels the QR code is. I think this is 25 by 25. And every larger one comes up in increments of 4, because a square of these 4 bits, a whole byte, counts as a hexadecimal value to a Unicode table, and that's how you get the text of that. But there's a pattern, a grid pattern that goes over the QR code, so you have to run an XOR over each one depending on what the pattern is, which you can parse from the QR code. Anyway, it like sounds crazy, but it's like really interesting, and now I know how it works. But I want to start making a QR code canvas generator where like, hey, if I start clicking on these, it will change and say what the actual data is, because I figured that would be like a fun thing to do. So this is a canvas that when you draw it, it toggles changing that pixel. So I know that this code has simple functions for drawing on a canvas, which I'm going to copy instead of saving in my own mind, because I just like, there are other things I need to remember. Cool. This is the code for that. Leela says, "I'm late. How far in is this?" You're at the end. We only got a few more minutes left, but what I've done so far is update the screensaver app so that it will create a full page with canvas and show after 5 seconds. So as you see here, it made the whole page lavender. That's a canvas, and then when I mouse over it, it disappears. And now that I have a canvas, I'm going to start drawing on it when the screensaver turns on. And so I'm just showing how I did some canvas drawing on this app the other day so I can copy and paste from it. You see here I have my canvas, my context, and then I have a draw module page. This is where I want to update that text value of what the QR code is. But anyway, you can ignore all of this. I just wanted to copy. Oh, maybe I don't do a clear rect on this. You know what? I think it's clear rect. Yes. So this canvas that I'm using is 2D, not 3D. That's why I had to set that context. And clear rect, you just choose the XY coordinate of where it starts. And like, you know, on computers, like it's not like a Cartesian plane. It flips. 0, 0 is on the top left. And so I'm gonna call screensaver ctx.clearRect 0, 0. And we know that the height is window.outer with window.inner height. You said no, will it be uploaded? Clarify what will be uploaded. The screensaver stuff? Because you can see it right now at glitch.com/ed/hashbang/hello screensaver. Let me know what you were talking about by uploaded, and I'll clarify. But this is going to clear the canvas because we want to start with an empty canvas. And again, if we start with this, if the screensaver starts drawing stuff and screensaver turns off and then like turns back on again, we want it to be empty. Let's copy what MDN is doing here and show what's going on. Okay, so we're clearing the canvas. We're gonna replace blah blah blah. I'm just gonna replace all of this. And I can just do a find and replace, but I'm doing it manually because it's just sometimes keyboard shortcuts are hard for me to remember. Yeah, this live will be loaded. Thanks, Jen, for parsing that better than I had. It's hard when I'm multitasking. Oh yeah. Screensaver canvas. Actually, that means that this is better. To use the window out with. Okay. Clear the canvas, and then we're not drawing a background because that would cover the whole thing. Actually, we can do that. And then this will draw it. This is just copied from MDN. So let's see what happens here. Screensaver should show. Boom. And it drew stuff. And then if I turn it off and I turn it back on, because I cleared the canvas, it should... Okay, I don't have it randomly doing anything. Like I can do math dot gosh. I wish there was no latency between me coding and you in the chat, because I'd be like, hey, can somebody tell me how to do a random number JavaScript math library random number range? Because I know there's math.random, but I'm like, what is the... There we go. Math.floor, math.random times max. That's what I wanted. Yeah, thank you, John. We're going to random location. So, let random x equal at the floor random times, and then the max would be screensaver dot width. Let random y equal math dot floor math dot random times screensaver dot height. And then we'll move to random x, random y. These are lines, but I would rather just have it draw a rectangle. So actually, let me spell these correctly. Screensaver ctx dot draw rect random x random y, and then you set like the width and height. So let's just say 100 100, and this should draw a random blue rectangle somewhere, or square. Let me do it in this page because our iframe preview seems to be bigger. Let's see. CTX draw rect is not a function. Okay. It's just rect. I've worked with the Canvas API for so long, and it's like PHP. Nothing is named correctly, honestly. And so, but I love it, like PHP. Yeah. So let's see here. Activate screensaver is set every moment that the timer is over 5, so we get that like added benefit of not having to have another set interval going on. Because the next thing I was going to do is like, oh, I need set interval, and it's like, oh no, I don't. Whoa, let's get rid of this random clear part of the canvas that they had added. Let's prettier this. Boom, boom. There you go. This is drawing a blue rectangle. And we can do like random colors and stuff. Let's refresh. Okay. Screensaver, go on. There you go. We're 5 minutes over time, but we got to a good ending point here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out, and I just turned it off. That's a screensaver. We made a freaking screensaver. I don't like the way that it looks, but I copied it off of NDN, so thank you for that example. That saved me some time. And now I can actually think about, what do I want this to show? And you can do anything. You can draw on a canvas. You can embed images on a canvas. You can basically do all the stuff that you've seen other screensavers do, drawn onto the canvas using the Canvas Rendering Context 2D API. And MDN has all the functions that you can do You can even like mess with the canvas itself and like rotate it. And if you really want to kind of like have some fun, like you can add you can use a 3D context of it and like use some WebGL to do some like actual 3D stuff. Um, yeah, I'm pretty stoked about how that came about. So that's still glitch edit hello screensaver. You can remix this and make your own screensaver for the jam submission. Let me go back to the jams page. All you gotta do is add cojam and hashtag screensavers to the description of your glitch app so that I can see it in my little SQL queries that I'm doing every day. I would love to see yours and hope that this starter gets you going there. I am very excited to be having Zach Leatherman on the stream next week to talk about 11T and the new Glitch blog. I'm very excited that Glitch is now 7 years old. That is like, 7 is young in human standards, but in like companies and products, it's not. So it's just really cool to be here. Very excited about the future of Glitch, and thank you so much for joining me on this stream. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on glitch.com.